Hello, guys. Out United Rock Nations. We are an amazing company in Stanley at the Speaker Wars. How are you?
I'm well.
Fantastic. So, after all these years, what inspired you to start this new band, a new project called Speaker Wars?
I was lucky enough to meet a really good singer and John Christopher Davis, and he bullied me into it. He just sort of talked me into it. He said, "Hey, man, I would love it. Get behind the kit, start playing again. Let's get a band." And it really started during COVID because we were all locked down. Nobody knew what they were going to do with their lives, and we just started having a lot of fun. And one thing led to another, and here we are.
Yeah, and at what point did you realize that there was a real chemistry between John Christopher and you?
Oh, very quickly. I don't know about you, but joy is comes almost like immediately in the room, and at this point in my life, that's a big part of what I'm doing anything for. you
Absolutely.
know it's like if it's fun and there's creativity and soulfulness and kindness, and John was that rare guy because he had all that and he could sing. Like, well, you want that guy in the room.
Okay, okay. And you recently said that love being in a band again. What exactly did you miss most about that dynamic?
Well, it's fun to be in a gang. It is like it's very boyish. It's very childish. You know, um, when you get with a bunch of guys and they all know you and they can make fun of you, and it's the greatest thing in the world if that's your thing. And it is my thing. I was always a guy who loved being in a band. I loved having brothers. It's like I'm just that guy. A lot of guys are very independent and they don't want people around. They're very private. Generally, I come alive when there's other musicians in the room, and it's like playing a foursome. It's just there's a lot of action. And for me, it's especially with guys that are they're a little younger than me and they're a little crazier than me. So it's highly entertaining.
It's a good thing, absolutely. So let's talk about the speaker wars. So the music of the band sounds classic rock and a touch of southern soul. Um, did you have a clear musical direction from the start, or did it evolve naturally working with him?
Well, you're a product of how you grew up.
Yes, absolutely.
So I have no plan in life. I mean, I make a joke, a long-term plan is between now and lunch, you know. So it's for me, the music comes out of you because that's what you have always done. Like, this is all I've done since I was a little boy. And
Absolutely.
um and I was in a band that sounded very specific. So I associate that that's what keyboards are supposed to sound like, and all the different bands I've been in, not bands, but the records I've been involved in since the Heartbreakers have taught me what I think music is supposed to sound like. So I'm not really out there trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm just trying
Yes.
to I'm just trying to tell you what I think music sounds like. So that's what you get.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the songwriting process of the songs. Who bring the main ideas? Did you collaborate with the songwriting also? Tell us more about the songwriting process. Who bring the main ideas in the band?
For this band.
Yes, absolutely. Speaker was, yes, exactly.
Well, it's John Christopher Davis and myself. We basically get in a room, and we just sort of talk to each other. And we're both writers, and he's a good writer.
You
So
play also guitars, bass, you play also all instruments?
John, does
No,
he play?
you.
Yes, I can do. Um, I wouldn't say I'm very good at it, but I'm good enough. You know what I mean? Where I can, I've been around it a long time, so I know what they're supposed to sound like.
Fantastic, fantastic.
And so I love to write, and I write all the time. And John is my first, like I'll bring it to John and go, is this for the band? And should we finish this for the group? But I'm always writing and I write. I'm very fortunate that I have a lot of people in my life that are very creative and I've been able to write with over the years. And so to me, just creativity is its own reward. I just love it. I love being creative.
And when you think about a new song, it's with guitar, piano, or when you write songs, is it more piano or guitar?
It seems like it maybe is a little leans a little more toward guitar,
Yes.
but I like the piano a lot. You know, I like it all. I mean, honestly, I love an auto harp, you know.
Oh,
It's like,
okay.
you know, any they're all it's all cool to me, you know, it's whatever gets you there, whatever keeps you interested and whatever turns you on and whatever challenges you, I'm going there.
Very cool. Exactly. Let's talk about the lyrics. I don't know, do you write some lyrics also, or is just John Christopher then that who write the lyrics?
I write a lot of the lyrics.
Okay, so the lyrics seems to reflect memory and human connection. The topics of the lyrics of the new songs. Tell us more about the ideas of the topics you like to talk in the lyrics.
Well, at this point in life, you know, I've been around a while. So it's not hard to just write about what you know. Like there's a song called The Forgiveness Tree. So it's
Yes,
obviously that is just true. It's like for me, it's like, you know, I've asked for forgiveness, I've given forgiveness and it's a gift and you so it's that's real and it's not like it's some concept. And there's a song called You Make Every Lie Come True, where that's true. I mean, my whole life I was so full of crap as a little boy. I told so many lies about what was going to happen and I'm going to get this and I'm going to have this. And well, I'll be damned. It really did happen, you know, like every lie did come true, you know. And so to me, it usually comes from a place where John and I are in a room and we can just be driving down the road and you go, man, look, do you want to explore that? You know, it's almost like a therapy session.
absolutely, absolutely. I have a question about the forgiveness, really, because it's a, it's a really it's a delicate song. It's a very soft song. I love it. Can you share the story behind this track, uh, behind this song, and what means to you the words of this song? I love a lot that song.
Um, well, it was real easy for me. John came up with the title. He said, look, there's a place we can go. What if there was a safe place we can go and be forgiven? You know, like a forgiveness tree, for instance. And I went, well, sure, you know, let's and so to me, the story was very quick, you know, like I thought to myself, like, God, that would describe almost every partnership I've been in, every woman, every band, you know, like angry words are spoken, you know, two hearts are broken. So it's like, it just immediately just like you go, what if I just told the truth? And and it's fun to try to do it as economically, like almost like a haiku, like how few words can I use and get the point across? And that was that became the sort of the reason to write the song was for me like how 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 economically can we write this? And because I love that sometimes I'll look at a great song and I'll go, God, there's only 20 words,
Hmm.
but boy, did it blow my mind. And so, you know, and those are sometimes really fun where you just go, wow, it's not how much, how many words, it's how quickly you can get to it. So that became almost a an exercise for me, like to get, and John's such a good singer. Like I said, when he stepped to the mic, I just went, that sounds good to me, dude.
Yes. I have another song that I love a lot. It's "Sit with My Soul" because it has a country gospel feel. That's what I listen. Was this intentional, or how this song come naturally or together? I love a lot that country gospel spirit on on this song.
Well, the highest, to me, some of the best songwriting in the world is gospel. Like literally, like you open it and you see a hymn and you try to like, so to me, Sit with My Soul was almost like a, I was kidding him, but I was serious. I go, what if we had a, if we had our own church, would you open a hymnal book and go, why don't we all sing Sit with My Soul? And it was like, John once again had the concept of like when people are gone, can you still access them? And I was going, man, you have no idea how much I talk to an empty chair. You know, I am constantly talking. I've lost so many people I love, and I just recently lost my mom. And it was like, so it was really easy for me to go, let's talk to, let's talk to the people that are no longer here. And let's, and I do that a lot too. Like I I always wonder, like, would Charlie Watts like that drum track? It's always people that are gone that that's who I'm trying to appeal to. It's those are my heroes, like so that there is and John grew up in a gospel environment, and he does have the other guys in the band can really sing this stuff. Like I can do some kind of I do rock and roll harmony, but these guys can actually sing gospel harmony. So it's fun to be able to go, give it a shot, boys.
It's a great song, really great song. I love a lot that song.
Thank you.
Let's talk about after all this year in music industry and the music world, most of the things change. What is your opinion about what the way the music industry evolved? Um, uh, I think it's more difficult today to do
Mm.
music than 20 years ago. So let me know what's your opinion about that.
Well, it's I've always kidded. It was the music business, and I only understood the music. The business was like, "Rrr." So I'm just as confused today as I always was, but I know it's incredibly hard to get heard, today. And I'm grateful that you're picking up on it and that you're going to turn your listeners on to it because that's how it works today. It's like there's no machinery to say, boy, I have this incredible, A&R department or publicity department. How do you cut through the chatter, I mean, of cat videos? It's like, I mean, so I'm grateful when someone like you actually listens to the music, hears something they like, and turns it on to someone because I think it's almost that primitive again. It's like I'm I don't know how it works, but I would love to be able to get this band heard, and I'd love to be able to take them on the road because the guys are so much fun, and I know they'd love it. I know these guys, I would be a little bit old hat with it, but it'd be great just to have these guys, around. Their energy is so good. And it's a great live band. It really is. It's better. It already sounds better than the records. So that's
So
always a good sign.
do you have some plans to tour and to do some
Plans.
concerts?
There's that nasty word plans again. Um, I'd love to. And I think it's going to be a long, hard road to get heard, noticed. And but I would love that. And we're ready, but I don't know how to. Right now, I'm not quite sure how to get from A to B.
Uh, because usually when we record an album, usually it's better to see live, to listen to the songs live. So I know it's difficult to tour. I know it's very difficult to find some, but I would like to tell you that the new album, Speaker Wars, is the album of the month on our media. So we love a lot that album, a really great album. So you can see the review on our site, and we love a lot the album. Really good songs.
Well, keep telling your friends.
So I have a last question. Of course, you work a lot with Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. You helped shape the sound of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Does that legacy still guide your musical choices today, or are you trying to break away from it now and change completely?
It, it's just part of my DNA.
Absolutely.
It's baked in now. It those guys kind of raised me, and I helped raise them. So it was and I've known those guys since I was a little boy. I mean, we were kids together, and so that's just how I hear music. And so there's always going to be a piece of that in my foundation where I just go, well, that if it sounds familiar to me, it's comfortable. That's actually a comforting. Um, and that's how I feel about a lot of the artists I've been lucky enough to work with. If I have a little piece of that and I hear it, I go like, that's good. I'm not going to run from it. I'm not going to run toward it, but I'm going to be like, it's I know what I know, and that's it starts from you always start from a place for me like what are you actually good at? That's an important question. I ask that of kids a lot. Like people will say, what am I supposed to do? And I'm going, well, what are you good at? Why don't you do that? That's a good place to start. Like you don't have to like hey man, if you're a good accountant, do that. Like if you're a good drummer, play the drums, like it seems so obvious. Like exploit yourself, enjoy yourself. Like don't don't reject what you do naturally. And probably what I do naturally is play drums in a rock band.
Thank you very much for this information about the new album. We love a lot the Speaker Wars. As I said before, it's the album of the month on our media. So
Thank
we, I know it's difficult to tour, but we really want to see you live. I hope that one day you can come here in France and see you
I would
live.
love that. I mean,
We hope.
it's been years, and I've made many trips to France over the years. Even when I was a little kid in high school, my dad took me, and it was like it's still a very magical place. I hope to meet you at the Arc de Triomphe someday. That would be lovely.
Yeah. Thank you very
So
much, Stan, and hope
thank
to see you
you.
very soon.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for
Bye.
the good music. Really great
Thank
music.
you. Thanks for helping.
Bye.
Bye.